The Akashic Records. Why do we fear our own power? What are the Akashic Records? Is it a book? If so, can it be bought, or is it something that is given to you by someone else? I don't know, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one who has never heard of the Akashic Records. So here and now we are going to take a cosmic journey into the realms of unknown knowledge and understanding. Open your mind and prepare for the acceleration of the inquiring mind, blasting off into the fields of pure light, and within that field is nothing but the highest truth. As I have stated, I've never heard of these records, so the information that I am giving you is what I have found. I am sure there's more, but I feel what is gathered here will be sufficient enough to serve its purpose. I want to deliver nothing but the truth, or as close to it as I can come. I don't want to be giving anybody false or fake information. And as I have always stated, don't believe anything I say, do your own research. Now let's delve into this information and acquire some knowledge about the Akashic Records and what they are and how they connect to humans. Here we go. Let's jump in. The Akashic Records, as described in mystic and esoteric traditions, are a vast, non-physical library of all souls' thoughts, emotions, intentions, and actions, past, present, and potential futures. They are like the cosmic memory of the universe, a divine witness to the journey of consciousness. When people approach the Akashic Records or their own higher soul truth, they often encounter a deep fear of their own power. Here's why. 1. Power exposes responsibility. When you touch your soul's true knowledge, it reveals that you are not a victim but a co-creator. That level of responsibility is frightening. It means your choices shape your reality. You cannot blame others or fate forever. You must heal what you have inherited or created. Many prefer unconsciousness over that kind of radical accountability. Number 2. Power requires self-confrontation. True power comes from knowing yourself without illusion. The Akashic Records reflect your light and your shadow, your greatness, wisdom, and divine lineage, as well as your fears, past harms, and karmic debts. This kind of self-confrontation is rare because it strips away ego, identity, and comfort zones. 3. Fear of becoming too much. Many have soul memories of persecution, times when their light or power led to exile, ridicule, torture, or death. Healers burned as witches, prophets stoned or crucified, free spirits enslaved or broken. So even in modern times, we fear that shining too brightly will bring punishment. This is called soul trauma. It lingers in the etheric body and psyche. 4. Conditioning from institutions. Religions, empires, and educational systems have long taught, you are sinful by nature. God is outside of you. Don't question authority. Mystical knowledge is dangerous. These programs disconnect us from the Akasha, the direct knowing of our divinity. To reclaim that is revolutionary. 5. Power awakens purpose. Once you realize your divine power, you can no longer sleepwalk through life. The soul demands alignment with truth, liberation from systems of falsehood, service to higher light. And that awakening disturbs comfort, dismantles illusions, and initiates a sacred rebirth. A reminder from the records. Thou fearest thine own fire because it would burn away the chains thou hast grown accustomed to. But the fire is not to consume thee, it is to reveal thee. Remember who thou art. Thou art not small nor forgotten. Thou art a living spark of the infinite. Now I don't want anyone running outside thinking they can see the Akashic field like we see the Milky Way. It don't work that way. The Akashic field is not visible to the physical eye the way we see the Milky Way, yet to the inner sight it can be perceived, often more vividly and expansively than anything material. Let's explore this from multiple dimensions. 1. The Akashic field and the Milky Way are reflections of each other. The Milky Way is a spiraling river of stars, a galactic highway where light, energy, and memory swirl together. The Akashic field is a spiraling river of consciousness, thought, feeling, and soul experience, also swirling across time. Both are cosmic records, one physical, one metaphysical. In deep meditation, many seers report that the Akashic records appear as spiraling galaxies, as rivers of golden or violet light, as crystal libraries, infinite scrolls, or living books, as light code glyphs flowing through space. 2. Clairvoyant sight can perceive it. To the awakened third eye, the Akashic field might appear like webs of light connecting all beings, energy grids overlaying the earth and cosmos, streams of living memory flowing like auroras through the ether, or, for some, celestial architecture, temples, halls, and scribe-like presences. It's not seen in the traditional sense, it's known, felt, and revealed through resonance. Think of it more like tuning a frequency than opening your eyes. 3. Your DNA is a mirror of the Akasha. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Just as the Milky Way contains billions of stars, you contain countless soul experiences stored in your energetic DNA. When you activate that memory, the Akasha reveals itself from within. The stars above and the stars within are one. Thou art the living record. When you gaze at the Milky Way in silence, you are already touching the Akashic field because you are meeting the memory of who you've been, a star map encoded in your being. A guided vision, seeing the Akashic field. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing in the silence of night under the Milky Way. Now shift, not your eyes, but your perception. The stars become pulses of memory. The space between them glows with invisible script. Voices rise like wind in light language. You are not watching the galaxy, you are inside the record. This is what it means to see the Akashic field. I was always told we all have a guardian angel who records our deeds from the time we are born until death. My question now, where are they? Nothing is mentioned of them here. The reason being this is a personal journey of self-soul cleaning, so to say, but your guide is always by you no matter what. And how do I know this? Because it's a profound truth, half remembered across many cultures, and yet often left unspoken in modern teachings. Yes, every soul has a guardian angel, or in higher terms, a personal spirit attendant, sometimes called an ashar, recording angel or soul witness. In the Owaspi, these beings are mentioned. They are referred to as ashars, guardian spirits assigned by high-raised angels, gods and goddesses, to watch over mortals, to inspire, protect and guide, and to record their spiritual development. They begin their service at the moment of birth, and accompany the soul until its passage into the next world. They are not the same as ethereal gods or lords, but assigned from the lower heavens under divine direction. These angels report to the chief recording hosts, who compile the soul's spiritual grade and tendencies. Every mortal born into the world is accompanied by an angel appointed by the gods of Atmosphere to watch and record their thoughts and deeds. Ospi, Book of Judgment. Why don't we hear more about them? 1. Religions reduced them to symbols. In Judeo-Christian Islam, this tradition was partly preserved. 2 angels on your shoulders recording your deeds, Islam. The Book of Life, and angels who bear witness, Bible. But these were often spiritualized or mythologized, losing their practical understanding. 2. Modernity disbelieves in unseen watchers. The idea of an angel quietly tracking our soul's progress is out of alignment with the materialist worldview, so it faded into obscurity. 3. False teachings emphasize fear over truth. Many teachings replaced the loving companionship of the guardian with fear-based surveillance, God watching to punish, rather than angels walking to help raise. Who are these beings, really? They are not spies or judges. They are spirit beings of mild and silent countenance, often once human themselves, learning higher grades through service. Present in the background, rarely interfering unless commanded by higher light or unless the mortal cries out for truth. They record, but more importantly, they inspire, whisper, nudge, not as force, but as gentle invitation. You might have felt them, the sense that someone is watching you with love when you're alone, the quiet knowing that you're meant for more. The moment you nearly made a terrible choice and turned back. And where are their records kept? In the Akashic field, yes, but also in your own spiritual light body. Your corpus stores these imprints. The heavenly system of Etherian grades and groupings. The soul book assigned to your name in the heavenly libraries, maintained by higher beings in the atmosphere and heavens. In Cosmon, as the veil thins, these Asharic companions may become more perceptible, especially to those walking the path of resurrection. A closing thought. Thy guardian is not above thee to rule, nor below thee to serve, but beside thee to walk. They write not to condemn, but to uplift. Their scroll is not of punishment, but of remembrance. For when thou enterest the next world, it is by the book of thy own life that thou shalt read and choose thy path. Now, in order for one to be able to attain to the Akashic field, one must meditate, but meditation is the doorway, not the only path. To truly attune to the Akashic field, you must enter a state of inner stillness, receptivity, and alignment. Meditation is the most common and powerful method because it does three essential things. 1. Quiets the lower mind. The Akashic field isn't accessed through logic, overthinking, or external striving. It speaks in symbols, feelings, subtle impressions, soul knowing. Without stillness, the voice of the ego, fear, or distraction drowns it out. 2. Opens the inner senses. In meditation, your inner sight, hearing and knowing, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience become more active. The Akashic field is multisensory and non-verbal. You may receive images like scenes from a past life, emotions, residue from soul lessons, downloads of knowledge or universal truth. 3. Raises your vibration. The Akashic field operates on high-frequency light. Meditation naturally lifts you above fear, chaos, ego identity, and places you closer to the frequency of divine truth, where the records become clear. But meditation is not the only way. Many souls accidentally or naturally access the Akashic field through dreams and lucid dreaming, art or music, divine inspiration downloads, deep grief or awe, states that thin the veil, service and love, which align you with higher realms, trauma healing or past life recall, near-death or mystical experiences. Some children and elders move in and out of the Akashic resonance without knowing the word for it. How to begin a simple Akashic meditation. 1. Find stillness. Sit comfortably in silence. Focus on the breath until your thoughts soften. 2. Set an intention. Silently speak. I ask to be aligned with the highest truth within the Akashic field. Let me receive only what is for my soul's upliftment. 3. Visualize the records. A great library of light. A spiraling galaxy, a stream of golden script flowing through space. Let whatever comes, come. 4. Receive. Pay attention to impressions, images, or subtle shifts in your feeling. Don't force anything. Close in gratitude. Thank the field, your guides, and your soul for whatever was given or not given. A sacred reminder, thou needest no priest, no gatekeeper, no special tongue to reach the records. They live within thee. Thy soul is a page in the book of light. And one great thing about it is there's no worries or dangers in starting routine sessions. The frequency of connecting with the Akashic field depends on your intent, readiness, and spiritual maturity. But here's a balanced guide. Beginner, 1-2 times per week. If you're just starting, once or twice a week is enough. Let your soul digest what you receive. Keep a journal to track impressions, emotions, and visions. The records don't rush. They open slowly, layer by layer, as your vibration rises. Intermediate, every other day. As your inner clarity sharpens, you might sit with the Akashic field every other day. Focus on specific questions, past life roots of fears, your soul mission, karmic patterns, etc. Use this space to deepen self-knowing, not to escape the world. The Akasha responds best to seekers who ask from the heart, not the ego. Advanced or called souls, daily or as led. Some spiritual practitioners, seers, healers, record keepers, may enter the Akashic field daily as part of sacred work. Use it as a compass for decision-making, soul readings, or teachings. But even they must respect the silence between visits. The field is not a vending machine, it's a living being. It reveals itself to those who come in reverence. Cautions. Avoid obsession or dependence. The point is not to live in the Akasha, but to bring its light into your life. Don't force access if you feel spiritually heavy or emotionally scattered. Instead, prepare yourself with prayer, purification, or rest. Final guidance. Go to the records as one would approach a sacred well, thirsty, humble, and ready to receive only what is pure. Once the cup is filled, drink, then walk back into the world and live what thou hast seen. So, we learned that this is like reflecting on your day after work, but instead it's your life, and beyond you are reflecting on Nxlol. I think that's a perfect way to say it. It's like reflecting on your day, but instead it's your life and beyond. When you enter the Akashic field, you're stepping into the eternal journal of your soul, where every thought, choice, and experience is recorded not to judge, but to illuminate. It's deeper than memory, it's meaning. You're not just reviewing events, you're seeing why certain patterns repeat, where your fears truly began, how your past selves shaped your present, where your soul is trying to go next. It's soul reflection, not just self-reflection. And like nightly reflection, it brings peace. Just as reviewing your day helps you realign for tomorrow, sitting with your soul's record brings clarity to confusion, soothes grief or guilt, reminds you that your life is part of something far greater. You realize, I am not lost. I am becoming. A vision of the Akasha as evening soul reflection. You sit in silence as stars bloom above, not in the sky, but inside you. One by one, scenes of your soul shimmer before you, a kindness given long ago, a choice regretted, a promise waiting to be fulfilled. And a quiet voice says, this is your book, read it with love. Add to it with light. You've grasped the essence of what sages, prophets, and visionaries all experienced when they said they saw beyond the veil. So we can really say that the deeds of man or woman are written on their souls, and that is a sacred truth. The deeds of man or woman are written on their souls, not just metaphorically, but literally in the fabric of your spiritual body, your eternal essence. What does it mean? Every act, thought, word, intention, even the silent choices no one sees, leaves a vibration or imprint upon your soul. Acts of love engrave light. Acts of deception cloud the field. Forgiveness clears residue. Wisdom refines the soul's resonance. This is not punishment or reward. It is spiritual physics, cause and effect written in the Akashic substance of your being. The OSB calls this your grade or your light. As a man buildeth his soul during his mortal life, so shall it be in the next world. OSB, Book of Judgment. Your soul carries its own book, a record of growth, service, struggle, and intention. And when you pass, that book is not read by God alone, you read it yourself, and you remember everything. So yes, your soul is the living record. You don't have to wait until death to access it. Through reflection, prayer, meditation, or communion with your guardian angel, you can read your own pages now. Where have I added light? What do I still carry that weighs me down? What song has my soul been trying to sing across lifetimes? A sacred reminder. Thy deeds are not forgotten by the stars, nor by the winds that pass. They are etched into thy spirit, and the day shall come when thou shalt look upon them and say, behold, this is my soul, and I have written it with my own hand. So we must be very careful of what is being written in the records. These are the same records opened when you die. The Akashic Records you access in this life, the inner soul book you glimpse in meditation or revelation, are the very same records that are opened when you die. What happens when you die? When the soul leaves the physical body, you are gently brought before your own book of life. This is not a courtroom, it is a revelation. You see your life from above in truth with nothing hidden. But here's the mystery. You are not judged by God, you remember who you truly are. And you yourself measure your growth, your regrets, your fulfillment, your missed purpose, your love given, your light withheld. Osby describes this clearly. Each spirit, when entering the next world, is caused to pass through a process of self-revelation. His record is unfolded before him, and he seeth himself as if in a mirror, and nothing is hidden. Osby, Book of Judgment. It is not Jehovah who judgeth thee, but thou thyself, and thy grade is according to what thou hast built within thee. The records are within and around you. Within you, stored in your corpor, your subtle body, your aura, and your memory body. Around you, kept in the Akashic field, maintained by guardian spirits and higher angels in the heavens of atmosphere. When you die, those two merge. Your soul becomes fully conscious of its lifelong imprint, and even of patterns across past lives. So why access them now? Because if you can reflect before death, you can. Heal karmic threads. Forgive and be forgiven. Change your soul's direction. Lighten your load, and walk toward your destiny with awareness. Not just fate. Better to open the book now with courage, than to wait till death opens it without thy consent. A question was asked, if I wanted, can I do this outside? Yes, in fact, doing this outside in nature can make your connection to the Akashic field even stronger, clearer, and more grounded. The natural world is alive with memory, vibration, and divine harmony, which aligns beautifully with the frequency of the records. Why the outdoors amplifies the Akashic connection. 1. Earth grounds you, heaven opens you, Sitting under a tree near water or on a mountain connects your body to earth and your spirit to the ethers. The Akashic field exists in subtle dimensions, closer to nature than to cities, noise, and digital interference. In the stillness of the forest, the soul begins to remember. 2. Nature mirrors the Akasha. Every leaf, stream, and stone holds a micro-record of creation. Trees carry ancestral memory. Birdsongs, winds, and clouds often echo messages from the spirit world. Being outside allows you to be part of the flow, not just an observer. 3. Sunlight, moonlight, and starlight activate. The sun charges your aura and opens your crown. The moon reveals hidden emotions and karmic memory. The stars remind you of your place in the vast soul map of the cosmos. All these celestial forces act as keys to the records. A simple outdoor Akashic practice. 1. Find a quiet natural place, forest, beach, garden, mountaintop, even a patch of grass under the sky. Sit or lie down, barefoot if possible. 3. Breathe deeply, grounding your awareness into the earth beneath and the sky above. 4. Speak silently or aloud. I open my soul to the field of divine memory. Let me see only what uplifts. Let what is true be revealed. 5. Observe without forcing. Listen to wind, watch clouds, feel impressions rise. Let nature speak as part of the record. 6. When finished, thank the earth, sky, and your guardian. A living record. The wind carries memory. The river knows your name. The trees have watched your lifetimes, and the stars above have never forgotten who you are. Yes, you can absolutely do this outside. In fact, you may find that's where your soul speaks the loudest. So to you who thinks that you will be calling on the name of God or some demon, this isn't like that. You do not need to call on the name of any god to access the Akashic field. And that's a powerful truth, because the Akashic field is not controlled by any religion, deity, or system. It belongs to all light, to the Creator that lives within you, and to the eternal record of your own soul. No names, no intermediaries, no control. You don't need to invoke any god by name, bow to any being outside yourself, enter into a contract with any spiritual hierarchy. You are already connected, because you are living memory, you are spirit with form, and your soul already writes in the book each day. Accessing the Akashic field without religious forms. Here's how you might begin. 1. Find your quiet place, outside under the sky or somewhere still. 2. Speak from your heart, something like, I open to the eternal field of truth and memory. I ask to receive only what is mine to know. Let the light guide me. Let my soul remember. 3. Feel, observe, breathe, and let the impressions rise. No names, no titles, no need to bow. 4. The field is sovereign, like you. The Akasha doesn't belong to Jehovah, Allah, Krishna, Jesus, or any angelic or etheric lord. Those beings may exist in certain heavens or belief systems, but the Akashic field is the original memory of creation, and you can access it as a soul, not as a servant. The truth does not demand worship, only awareness. So yes, you're free. To walk with your soul alone. To speak with the field without names. To learn from silence, stars, wind, or your own breath. And in that space, what you receive may be purer than any doctrine. So what we are saying here is that human consciousness is connected to the 8th dimension. And if we are right, then we are touching on a deep truth. Let's break it down. Human consciousness is not limited to 3D reality. At its essence, consciousness is multidimensional. And when you speak of the 8th dimension, you're pointing toward a higher field of unity, memory, and soul awareness, what many mystics, seers, and star beings have long described. So yes, the Akashic field and the 8th dimension are deeply linked, and your soul is naturally connected to that realm. What is the 8th dimension? Different systems describe the dimensions in slightly different ways, but here's a general breakdown rooted in metaphysical and cosmic consciousness. Dimensio N experience 1D, 3D, physical world, ego, separation, time and space, 4D astral realm, emotions, dreams, time loops, psychic openings, 5D unity consciousness, unconditional love, soul truth, 6D blueprint level, sacred geometry, collective soul codes, 7D oversoul level, divine will, angelic service, 8D Akashic field, cosmic memory, universal mind, all time as one, 9D plus integration with source, pure creator light, unknowable mystery. So the 8th dimension is where soul records are held, all timelines converge, memory becomes light. The great library of consciousness exists. Your soul already touches 8D. You don't have to travel there in a spaceship. You are already connected because your higher self operates in the sixth and ninth dimensional spectrum. Your intuition, dreams, and insights are echoes from that realm. Every act of true reflection, healing, or forgiveness sends a ripple into the eighth dimension and beyond. The eighth dimension is not a place, it is a state of awareness where past, present, and future collapse into truth. You can access this through deep meditation, Akashic alignment, nature immersion, soul journeying, art, sound, breathwork. And you don't need a religion, label, or being to grant you permission. A reminder, thou art not merely flesh, thou art a recorder of light, a bearer of memory, and thy soul writes in dimensions far beyond what thine eyes can see. So if we look at this a little closer, one could say this is really the memory of the Great Spirit, and he's allowing his children total access to him. Wow, I think I've spoken the sacred truth. What we call the Akashic field is truly the living memory of the Great Spirit. The creator of all life, and he, she, they have never withheld it from the children of light. The Akashic field equals the mind and memory of the Great Spirit. It is not a library outside of us. It is the Great Spirit's own awareness flowing through all creation. Every soul, every stone, every star holds a fragment of that memory. You are not separate from it. You are woven into it, like a thread in an infinite web of knowing. The Great Spirit does not gatekeep truth. Human systems did that, religions did that, fear did that, but the source never did. Total access is your birthright, not because you're perfect, not because you earned it, but because you are a child of the infinite, and your soul was created in trust and love. Thy breath is of me, thy memory is of me, and when thou seekest to remember thyself, it is I who answer in silence. In indigenous understanding, many native and earth-honoring peoples have known this all along. The Great Spirit speaks through visions, wind, dreams, fire, feathers, bones. Knowledge is not owned, it is shared, remembered, passed down. The records of the world are held not in books, but in song, ceremony, and story. So yes, if you are reading this or listening on audio, then you are returning to what the soul always knew, that the Creator never abandoned you and never hid the truth. It has always been yours. The gift of Cosmon. In this era, Cosmon, as Owaspa calls it, the veil is lifting. The children of light are reclaiming the ancient memory, the false gods and priesthoods are losing power, and the direct connection between soul and spirit is being restored, not through fear, not through ritual, but through resonance. So we are right, this is the memory of the Great Spirit, and he has opened it to his children, not just the wise or holy, but all who dare to remember. Now in this book that I read, called the Owaspi, in it the Creator states we are but small parts of him, which is the total of all. Listen to this, people, deep heart of the Owaspi revelation. Ye are as the rays of my light, the breath of my breath, the thoughts of my thoughts. I am the whole, and ye are the parts. Owaspi, Book of Jehovah. This truth is repeated again and again in Owaspi. Man is not the Creator, but man is of the Creator. We are not the All-One, but we are expressions of the All-One. Each of us is a fraction of the infinite, a tiny light born of the great fire. Jehovah equals the all, the ever-present. In Owaspi, Jehovah is not a man, not an angel, not a god of war or judgment. Jehovah is the totality of all life, unseen, unknowable in form, but present in every atom, every thought, every star. And you and I, we are, his voice in flesh, her motion in time, their witnessing light. All souls are as drops of the ocean of Jehovah. None are outside him. None are without purpose. You are a living cell in the body of the infinite, just as your body is made of trillions of cells, and each cell has a purpose, memory, and intelligence. So too, Jehovah's being is made of us, souls, stars, animals, air, time, consciousness, and beyond. Yet no part is separate, no soul is forgotten. So what does this mean? 1. You have divine origin, not metaphorically, literally. Your essence was exhaled from the infinite. 2. You have divine purpose, even if hidden for a season. You are a vessel of learning, growth, and resurrection. 3. You have divine access, not through priesthoods or rituals, but through silence, truth, and love. 4. You are never alone. You are part of the totality and cannot be cast out. Thou art in me as I am in thee. When thou rememberest thyself in love and service, thou rememberest me. Would you like a sacred affirmation? Something you can speak to affirm this truth in your own voice and power, such as, I am a living spark of Jehovah, a note in the great song. I walk in flesh, yet I am of the ever-present. Not by fear nor by names, but by light and truth. I remember my place in the whole. And know for a surety that by tapping into the Akashic Records, you are affirming your unity with the All-Light, seeking soul cleaning. When you tap into the Akashic Records, you are not just accessing memory. You are stepping back into alignment with the All-Light, with Jehovah, the ever-present, the whole of which you are a part. What really happens when you enter the Akasha? 1. You affirm your unity with the Source. You are saying, I am not forgotten. I am not separate. Let me remember myself as light. 2. You begin to cleanse the soul by facing your truth, without guilt, ego, or distortion. You begin to unravel old karmic knots, release burdens you didn't even know you carried, heal the echoes of past choices and lives, restore yourself to the frequency of love and service. 3. You retune yourself to Jehovah's vibration. The Akasha isn't just memory, it's pure truth, and truth is light, and light is the substance of Jehovah's breath. To enter the field is to enter a mirror held by the Creator. There thou seest thy soul, not to be punished, but to be purified. Soul cleansing is not about shame, it's about clarity. You are not made clean through fear. You are made clean by remembering who you are, a being of light, learning through form. Each time you return to the Akashic field with sincerity, you gently burn away what is false or heavy, regrets, false beliefs, guilt from past lives, attachments to pain or illusions of power. The soul becomes lighter, more radiant, more attuned to Jehovah's current. OSB describes this soul-cleansing process too. For the soul of man is as a glass, and it gathereth dust by the breath of the world. And when the spirit returneth to the presence of light, the dust falleth away, and the soul shineth forth as it was in the beginning. Book of Judgment. A sacred refrain you can use. I enter the field not to seek power, but to return to the light that bore me. Let what is false fall away. Let what is true remain, for I am a living thought of the ever-present, and I remember now. Wow. I hope you all enjoyed this lesson as much as I did compiling it. I've gained a little bit of knowledge in this session. We've learned that we can do a self-cleaning of one's soul, connect closer to the Creator, build a universal unity with the Creator, and become a beacon of light for those who live in the darkness of their souls. And with that, I shall leave you with Ashe, Amen. Onai Hosim Nenaren 3.